Hi, my name is Nicole Bannister, and I'm going to be doing a video on a homemade cat diet I found online. It comes out of a book written by a veterinarian. His name is Dr. Karen. I'm going to go ahead and kind of tell you a little bit of the ingredients we're working with. In this pot, I have some ground turkey. The type of protein is up to you. Certain recipes use beef, some use pork, some use chicken. It kind of just depends on what you want to do. So kind of pick a protein you want to do it with, and you ground up the meat. And I'm doing this diet specifically for my diabetic cat. It's been a real struggle to kind of find food for him that's suitable for his condition. We also can't just do prescription food, which would be the easiest method because we already have a cat on urinary care food. And also, the diabetic cat doesn't like prescription food. Like, he refuses to eat it. So we've been supplementing his diet with wet food, but we'd like to try another avenue, possibly one that costs less than doing wet food. We have 3 other cats that we have to feed, and with the wet food and dry food, it's kind of expensive. So I'm hoping with this homemade diet, I can find another avenue for us to make food for him. So all I did was put half a tablespoon of butter in this hot pan, and then I already cooked my meat last night, but you just need to cook it up. Won't take more than maybe 15 minutes. Then the recipe called for vegetables, so I looked up vegetables that are okay for cats to eat. I don't want to pick something that would not be okay for them to eat. So I picked green beans, corn, and carrots. They kind of provide carbs for the cat. So I'm going to go ahead and add those into my meat. These are already cooked as well. I bought vegetables that you could steam in the microwave just because I didn't really want to cook them on hot stove or in water because I wanted to reduce the chances of denaturing their complexes. So you go ahead and you mix it all together. This recipe is good if you want to do it in bulk for multiple cats because you can make a lot of it, and then you place it in the freezer, freeze it, and then when you want to use it, you can just take it out the night before and put it in your fridge so that it thaws out. But you go ahead and mix that together. Then you're going to take some eggs, and I just cooked 2 eggs because I'm not making that much. If you're going to make it in bulk, I would suggest doing maybe like 5 eggs or so. You take the eggs, and I just scrambled them. Whatever way you want to cook the eggs, I figured scrambled would be the easiest one. Sorry, that's my cat in the background. He sounds like he's starving, but I promise you I just fed him. You go ahead and you'll mix up the eggs into the veggies and the meat, and then you take, to make sure they get kind of the vitamins they need, the recipe calls for fish oil, so you can just buy the human capsules. So they come in this little capsule, and you just cut the top off. You take some hot water and you dump the fish oil inside the capsule into the water. You only want about a 1/4 tablespoon, and you'll just kind of mix it around in there so that the oil is mixed in with the water. And this will provide taurine and omegas, just some good amino acids for them. So you'll go ahead and just mix that in with your recipe. And then the last component of our recipe is actually, and it's going to sound so weird, but it's actually eggshells. So kind of a recycling way. Use the same shells that you get the eggs out of. But you'll actually add this to the food as well. If you do not want to add eggshells, you can actually own bone meal. But for my situation, this was the easiest ingredient I could come up with for time and also searching. Because finding bone meal at Walmart is not really a thing. So you'll go ahead and place that into your recipe. And like I said before, I did 2 eggs, so I just have a little bit of eggshells. And you'll just kind of go ahead and mix it all together. And like I said, once I'm done with this, if I wanted to save it for later, I'd just put it in a Ziploc freezer bag and place it in my freezer. And when I want to use it, I'll just pull it out and let it thaw overnight. It's kind of simple, but in my situation where I have a lot of cats, meat and vegetables and stuff like that, really inexpensive to buy. Plus, I can get a big bottle of this fish oil thing, and it'll last me through a bunch. There's 50 gels in here, so I can make this 50 times, which is way cheaper than, say, prescription food that costs, $20 for a small bag. So I hope you enjoyed this video. For those of you that have special cats, maybe this will help you out. Feel free to put any recipes, though, that you find for diabetic cats or cats in general below this video. I'd love to hear from you. I'm honestly looking for a cheaper avenue than wet food. So just leave your comments below. Okay, thank you. Have a good night.